$4.
$4. Do I hear $5?
$1,000.
$1,000. Does anyone wish to go higher?
Yeah, I got 2,000 right here. Ow! $3,000. $5,000.
Who said that?
Hey!
Okay, $5,000 to the dirty geezer in the back. I'm sure no one's gonna wish to go higher than that, so we can just be done with it now.
10,000.
You don't want to be in Hollywood, especially for African Americans. And I do panels of people who want to get into Hollywood. And they say, TK, how can I make it? I truly convince people to go the other direction.
Me too.
Because you don't want to be in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Especially for African Americans. And let me tell the fans why. If I told everybody around the world right now to do a research paper on black actors and black actresses in Hollywood, you will come back with a horrific story of disappointment and depression. It's just the way the world is. We are basically swimming against the current in this business. So
Jamie Foxx. Oh, Jamie Foxx? Yeah. Jamie Foxx with that little Wanda character sticking his lips out with a dress on.
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy.
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes. We ain't
Wesley
forget
Snipes.
you. It was a whole movie called Wu Fong 2 or something like that. It was John Leguizamo, Hispanic brother, Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes. They were all dressed as women, bro.
And a lot of people think that it's just like a ritual. It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's deeper than that. Black men in Hollywood, they were always known to be and to look aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And what a dress does, and this is what everybody needs to understand about this dress thing. What a dress does for a black man is to show him to be harmless.
Mm-hmm.
All right? When a black man puts on a dress, it shows that Hollywood can trust him now. That he's harmless. That he's not going to be, one of the rogue black dudes that try to go off and tell about all of the stuff that's going on inside of Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's harmless. And that's what that dress does. It not only effeminates the black man, but it shows white people that this black man can be trusted.
I was just gonna say this.
I'm the most feared man in Hollywood. They don't like me in Hollywood.
Why do they not like you?
I don't wear dresses. I don't do that gay stuff on TV. They had to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking, that's gunning. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough guys, but young kids want to be soldiers. Young kids don't want to follow a guy to wear a dress. You know what I'm talking about.
Sodomy was often performed by a white man who traveled from plantation to plantation to rape male slaves. Sex farms allowed multiple slave owners to gang rape male slaves as punishment for any supposed wrongdoing. Homosexuality in this era was not a popular pastime, yet raping male slaves as a form of plantation punishment was somehow acceptable. Buck breaking is typically left out of the history books due to its taboo nature of male on male. Only recently, sexual violence used to project fear can be a powerful tool of manipulation. Weaponizing sexuality can debilitate one's core self-esteem and disable their sense of community. Buck breaking was a means to squash rebellion before it was even conceptualized. Families of the enslaved bucks were forced to bear witness to the sodomy, ensuring there was no will to be defiant or rebellious. Sexual mutilation, including castration, were other forms of punishment for those with stronger will. These acts solidified the mental dominance white men needed to tame their bucks into obedient, working slaves. Emasculating male slaves physically was the final step to subdue the defiant buck.
Bet you never taught that in school. What are you going to say about that, Deacon Asa?
This is crazy because you're learning this now to show you the nature of the white man. And you got black men using this now to demasculinize black men. You ever notice now that there's a big thing now for black men to call other men gay? You notice that? You notice that there's men pushing that now because they saw that the white man used that to humiliate and bring another man down. So you're going to notice now a lot more black men who want positions of power accusing other men of being gay. I read about that in some writings of King James. There was a constant rumor calling him gay. And it's the same thing that you see today. You see men trying to be in position of power to demasculinize other black men that have power. But we see where it came from. It came from the white man. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Give me the false prophet, the Pope. Yep, I said the false prophet. The false prophet, it's not just the Pope, it's the whole Christianity, all of it. I need the next video. I want y'all to pay close attention. Come on, y'all.
Ser homosexual no es un delito, es una condición humana. Somos todos hijos de Dios. Y Dios nos quiere como estamos y con la fuerza que luchamos cada uno por nuestra dignidad. El ser homosexual no es un delito. No es un delito. Sí, pero es pecado. Bueno, primero, distingamos pecado por delito.
Bishop, can we start over now? Because I know they're not reading that stuff. Start again. Start again. I know you're not reading that stuff. It's very small fine print. Listen. Play it.
Being homosexual isn't a crime.
Ser homosexual no es un delito. Es una condición
It's a human condition. We're all children of God. And God loves us as we are. And for the strength that each one of us has to fight for our dignity. Being homosexual is not a crime. It's not a crime. Let's make the distinction first between sin and crime. But it's also a sin to lack charity with one another. So what about that? Fine.
That's your Pope. That is the Christian religion. This is why Christians don't really speak against LGBT. They speak against us, though, but not against homosexuality. So what happened as a result of the Pope making that unrighteous decree? Let's go to Uganda. What happened with Uganda? I want the video about Uganda. What happened?
A deep sense of shock and fear engulfs Uganda's LGBTQ community. Their way of life turned on its head after Tuesday's anti-homosexuality bill was passed in Parliament. The new law has drawn the ire of the Western world.
It would impinge upon universal human rights, jeopardize progress in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
Human rights chiefs meanwhile argue the bill could give license to incite harm upon one another.
It will render lesbian, gay and bisexual people in Uganda criminals simply for being who they are and for existing.
Under the bill, people caught having gay sex would face life in prison. So-called aggravated homosexuality, used to describe gay sex committed without consent or against children, would be punishable by death. The legislation also outlaws even identifying as LGBTQ, inciting fear from rights advocates.
I don't know if there are going to be concentration camps or rehabilitation centers that are so discriminatory, because many people are going to be internally displaced.
Uganda was already notorious for intolerance of homosexuality, which has been criminalized since the colonial era. Discussions leading up to the vote were also laced with homophobic rhetoric, as lawmakers conflated sexual abuse with consensual same-sex activity between adults.
We are making to reinforce the law enforcement officers to make sure that homosexuals have no space in Uganda.
It's a position reflected on the streets of Kampala, as many locals on Wednesday expressed their support for the bill.
God created man and woman, and we cannot accept one sex to go on the same sex.
It is okay, because I can't see such a child of mine doing such a thing.
The new legislation will now be sent to President Yoweri Museveni, who will choose whether to sign it into law. But some analysts say Uganda's leader may prove reluctant to repeat history and avoid damaging his country's reputation in the eyes of foreign investors and donors.
Go ahead.
You know what's so, let me tell you, these people make me sick to my stomach. You know what's so sick about this? Why is that they're only pushing this in the African countries? They're pushing it on every, listen, that LBGT, whatever the hell you want to call it, that's the new birth control today. So, let me tell you how hypocrisy the white man is. Let's just talk about Saudi Arabia. America buy billions of dollars of oil from Saudi Arabia every year. Saudi Arabia law is harsher than Uganda.
Right.
Way harsher. Nobody say nothing. Everybody's like, shh, don't say nothing about that. But they want to go to the black country, push that garbage. But they're still trading with Saudi Arabia. They're still buying oil from them. Qatar, that's another country. Iran, that's another country. Iraq. Why is that in the black country they're pushing that garbage?
Right.
That's a way to destroy us. You gotta see that. You gotta see the hypocrisy of these people, man.
And they're saying, because once the Pope put that out, now America is enforced to enforce what the Pope says. They all work together. The false prophet, the beast system, they all work together. We got to wake up and realize what time we're in. Look at Isaiah 5:20 real quick. Because now somebody watching might say, oh yeah, what Uganda did is an unrighteous decree. We can use Isaiah 10. No, that was a righteous decree. Watch what God says in Isaiah 5:20.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good.
Woe unto them that call evil good.
And good evil.
And good evil. That's what they do. They say what Uganda's doing is evil. Oh, no, it's not. What Uganda said is according to God's law. You have to decide. You have to decide whose side you're on. God's side or Satan's side. The choice is yours. Okay.
And also, like the bishop is bringing out, because the churches that will never have a discussion like this, they'll never push this type of information out for you to look and be on God's side. Watch this. Give me Isaiah chapter 1, verse 9. This is why the bishop is bringing this out. And this is proof that the Lord is working with specific men on this earth, and other people, they are of their father.
Pulled my drawers down and dug in my rectum.
The alleged victims keep coming forward. 8 Milwaukee police officers are under internal investigation, accused of performing illegal strip searches, including cavity searches on the streets. Were they wearing any gloves?
No, I didn't see not one. There was no gloves.
Kevin Freeman Jr. claims back in December he and some friends were violated during a traffic stop.
When they searched me, they like eased down and they put their hands right between my butt, and I try to reach back, and when I try to reach back and try to stop them, they just got to slamming me on the ground.
Only how we gonna make it stop is if we come together and stick together and talk about the problems.
Devontae Gersey is speaking now. What he claims the 8 officers under investigation from District 5 did to him should leave them with a record.
They do it all the time. It don't matter where we at, you know what I'm saying? They just treat us like we animals.
The 18-year-old claims he too has been the victim of those illegal strip searches the officers are accused of performing.
I felt my boxers go down, and I don't even like talking about the situation.
But what happened?
They dug in my rectum with their hands. I don't think they had no gloves. I didn't see them put no gloves on. They didn't even have time to go in their trunk and do none of that.
Honestly, it's like being raped if you ask me.
His mother, Bobby Barbosa, believes what the officers are accused of doing reflects to the disconnect MPD has with some in the community.
I do think that race, our area, and where we come from does play a part in it.
She tells me she originally contacted police after her 2 sons were allegedly victimized.
I've contacted the department today.
Totally naked and handcuffed.
Joseph Mays says he was raped by accused ringleader Michael Vagnini. Vagnini faces 25 counts for illegal strip searches, misconduct, and sexual assault. Officers Jacob Knight, Jeffrey Dolhoff, and Brian Kozalik also face charges.
After that, I got one officer right here. He's like, he's resisting. He get to choking me. I got slob coming all down and got slob coming all down. It's all right here. Got the gun to my head.
In the criminal complaint, the victim is quoted as saying 2 other officers were hanging onto the victim's arms and one had a gun pressed against the victim's head. The man says he was also rectally searched by Officer Vagnini. From the criminal complaint, quote, Vagnini then put his bare hand in